This is Hush Puppy, Africa's most notorious scammer. He started scamming in Nigeria and over the years has stolen over $100 million from international banks, football teams, and sometimes even US government agencies. But unlike other scammers that would prefer to remain anonymous, Hush Puppy flaunted his wealth and lifestyle all over social media for the world to see, becoming what some call a celebrity scammer. And of course, that led him to his inevitable arrest and him pleading guilty to 4 counts of fraudulent activities. But to understand Hush Puppy's story, we have to look at his criminal timeline, from his humble beginnings to his scamming business model and eventually to his investigation and arrest by the FBI in Dubai. This is the tragic downfall of Africa's biggest scammer. Hello guys, how you not? Before I get into the video, I want to say I made some changes to the channel. New profile picture, new channel banner, and hopefully new views. Why did I change them? Well, it's a new year, so you know now, new stuff. Trying to brand myself this year. And also I wanted to say that my face won't be on subsequent thumbnails, but this green border and my logo will be on the thumbnail so that you know it's my video when I upload. Okay, alright. Before Raymond Abbas, aka Hush Puppy, stole hundreds of millions of dollars and was arrested by the police in Dubai, he was a poor kid from Nigeria. He grew up in a place called Oronshoki in Lagos, Nigeria. Here, a large percentage of the indigenous citizens live in abject poverty. Everyone did what they could to survive, and Raymond's family was no different. His mom used to sell bread on the streets, and his dad was an underpaid taxi driver. By both of his parents' hustle, Raymond and his siblings were able to pull through. But as Raymond grew older, he began realizing that there is a better alternative to life than what him and his family were currently experiencing. This was around the same time that the internet was newly introduced in Nigeria. During the day, Raymond would go to cyber cafes and interact with foreign strangers online to know how other parts of the world fared. He would soon come to realize that for some unspoken reason, people from Nigeria were looked down upon as dirty scammers because of the Nigerian scam exploits of the 90s and the 80s. Soon enough, Raymond and several other youths in Nigeria began adopting this identity of being a scammer, and they started developing strategies to scam people from these foreign countries. They would go on websites like yahoo.com and deceive non-suspecting foreigners to send them hundreds if not thousands of dollars. This is where they got the popular name Yahoo Boys, and from the money they've stolen, they would use it to better their conditions and recruit other poor kids to work for them. This was basically like the Nigerian mafia in the early 2000s. But Raymond's ambition was way bigger than just making a few $1,000s a month. No, he has tasted the extremes of poverty. Now he wanted to taste the extremes of wealth. And this is when he leveled up his scamming game big time. In 2014, Raymond made a decision to relocate to Malaysia for some strategic reasons. First, the EFCC, which is the FBI adjacent law enforcement agency in Nigeria, began apprehending scammers on a large scale. So Nigeria was a danger zone for him when compared to a place like Malaysia. Plus, Malaysia's internet was more sophisticated to allow scammers hide their identities more proficiently as they carried out international scams. And you might ask why? Well, in order for Raymond to plus up his money game big time, he needed to perform scams that had exponential profits. This was when he was introduced to what is known as the BEC Scam, which is business email compromise. Now, it may sound complicated, but it's very simple. And you can pull it off too. But no be me send you, I'm not the one that sent you. What they do is that scammers find random companies online. They make sure the company has money, like tons of money, like all these foreign banks, big tech agencies. Then they do their research on the company, on who controls the flow of money in and out. Is it the manager? Is it the CEO? Or whosoever? When they find the person, the real scam begins. Now, the scammers get a hacker, usually ghost hackers from countries like North Korea or Russia, and they pay the hacker to hack that person's email account. And when that's done, the bulk of the work is over, and all they have to do now is wait till any financial invoice is received by that email they hacked. Then the scammers create an identical version of the invoice, saying that the account details in the last one was false and the new invoice has the correct details, which is actually their own account details. And then boom, magic money has been made. This was the scam that Raymond Abbas was involved in, and it was very lucrative for him. I mean, sometimes he scammed millions of dollars from companies with this BEC model. It was around this same time that Raymond would create the alias Hush Puppy and start posting on Instagram, showcasing the money he has stolen and his lifestyle. And he was sprinkling a little bit of motivation on top of the whole thing. No, these hustlers post now. If you cannot build with them, don't chill with them. God bless the hustle. All this motivational stuff to make himself look legit. Not too long after, he began gaining massive followers and fans on Instagram. Like, we all see how rich celebrities are idolized on social media now. Hush Puppy was an embodiment of the classic poor to rich storyline in some sort of messed up way, giving young people who are struggling someone to look up to. Some thought his extravagance was boastful and unnecessary, and others thought that it was a proxy he used to tell young folks what is possible if you work hard. Either ways, one thing was for sure: his excessive flaunting of his lifestyle online was about to cost him everything. Shortly after he moved to Malaysia and started posting online, he would get in contact with another rich influencer named Monfa. Monfa would later influence Hushpuppi to relocate to Dubai, where him himself resided. This was when Hushpuppi would have a taste of the super rich lifestyle he always wanted. Using the money he got from his BEC scams, he would buy expensive cars like Mercedes-Benz G-Wagons worth over $200,000, private jets worth over $3 million. He rented a super expensive penthouse in Dubai that cost $120,000 yearly. He only bought and wore designer clothes worth tens of thousands of dollars. He was going to very prestigious events in Dubai, places only the richest of the rich in the world could go. He was entirely on another level in Dubai. You could say he got what he always wanted in life. I mean, he was the furthest away from being poor than someone like him could ever be. But of course, he couldn't keep his mouth shut. As all this was happening, he never failed to let his fans know when, where, and what he was spending his money on. He flaunted like if he was flaunting before. Now he over flaunted. He constantly got into beefs on social media with Nigerian celebrities like Timaya, who warned him in a song that his cup was soon full. It was around the same time that he started beefing with his friend Monfa, who brought him to Dubai.
Me, I no vex, so say anything way happen to us, people go link me with, because if I no bring
According to Monfa, he said that he warned him and he did not listen. So at this point, Hushpuppi was left all by himself to do whatever he wanted. On 11th of October 2019, Hushpuppi posted an infamous birthday video of him celebrating in a very big way. Unknowingly to him, this was around the same time the FBI started investigating him. Now you might ask why. Why did the FBI think to suspect Hushpuppi for anything? And what does this birthday post have to do with anything? Well, it turns out that while Hushpuppi was flexing in Dubai, the FBI were also busy. Around the same time, they arrested a Canadian money launderer named Galeb Almari, and when they checked his phone, they saw texts between him and Hushpuppi. Apparently, Hushpuppi wasn't a one-man army in the scamming game. He was a team player. While Galeb would be the one to find the hackers and spoofers for the BEC scams, Hushpuppi's job was to provide him emails and bank accounts to transfer the money to. It was a whole organized business. When the FBI found out, they started investigating Hushpuppi for evidence of these new findings. They began to calculate the cost of his clothes, shoes, and cars he flaunted online. And not surprisingly, it was matching up with the amount of money lost by the 4 companies the FBI suspected them of scamming. The companies in question that they were accused of scamming was, first, a bank in Malta for $30 million, a law firm in America for $1 million, and 2 UK companies for over $100 million, of which one of the companies was a Premier League football team. You see, while you're wasting your time on Sportybet, someone is cashing out $100 million from the same Premier League. Now, with the help of that birthday post, they were able to confirm his birthday. They now got his real email and phone number from his Instagram account, and with the email and phone number they got, they were able to link it to several scams that the FBI were investigating. Armed with this evidence, on June 8, 2020, the FBI mobilized the Dubai SWAT team to do their dirty work for them. Hushpuppi was asleep in his expensive penthouse in Dubai, probably dreaming of his next scam victim, when the police broke in with their guns blazing. At first, when he heard the sound, he thought it was thieves that broke into the house. But when he saw the police, he realized that he himself was the thief. That day, him and other suspects were arrested, and the very next day, they were flown out to the US to face the law. After months of court proceedings, he pleaded guilty to 4 counts of conspiracy to launder money and was sentenced to 11 years in prison. Ever since then, his Instagram account has been taken down, and all his cars, houses, and other assets have been seized. Moral of the story: if you're stealing meat from the pot, do so quietly so that mommy will not wake up and catch you red-handed.